So, as I was saying, that it's an honor, privilege, and pleasure to have Dr. Surya with us. I've been very keen to have her on board. Why? And let me explain again for some of you who have been part of our webinar series earlier. We had about 4 of them last year, and this is a new set of webinar series we started with the idea of getting experts on board who are one experts in the area of in ancient sciences like Ayurveda and naturopathy and a few others, but also have they are very aligned to our entire philosophy of food being medicine, being central to our well-being and our ability to keep our own health in proper shape. I personally believe that both Ayurveda, naturopathy, and some of the other ancient sciences we have, like Marma and several others, they have really been put together. These sciences have been put together not just from a curative point of view or therapeutic point of view, but they have been by and large put together. And this is my personal belief, and many might not agree with me on this, they've actually been done, they have been put together by a seer to see that we all need to, yeah, that we actually need to, we have the ability to take care of ourselves. We have the ability to heal ourselves. If we are given certain tools, we have an understanding of our own bodies. We have an understanding of the plants around us, the herbs around us, and the foods in our kitchen. So if we understand all of this and put it together, apart from over and above yoga and the practice of yoga and pranayam, there is no way that we can be unhealthy. And today, these sciences are being used for therapeutic and curative purposes also. But I'm going to again say this, reinforce this, that the whole idea of living without medicine is not so much for us to go into consultation with doctors and try to cure ourselves, but to become aware and mindful and see if we can care for ourselves and use these tool techniques as well as these foods, which Dr. Surya is going to be talking about, to take care of ourselves on a day-to-day basis. I'm now going to introduce Dr. Surya Ramesh. She's been part of many of our platforms across India, uh, much more active in Bangalore, where she's based right now. She is an MSc DFM NMD of Jadavpur University in naturopathy. Has about 33 long years of experience. And if you meet her personally, you will feel that she's like an 11-year-old girl. She's bubbling with energy all the time. So I always see her, I cannot, when she just wrote to me about her 33 years, like I almost fell off my chair. I said, oh my God, I feel as if she's just out of college yesterday. So that is what Dr. Surya is. She's completely full of energy and beans. She really, she represents all that she teaches, I would say. She has been the head of department of naturopathy at the Sri Ayurveda Hospital, and not just that, she has now, of course, been practicing it for many private clinics across Bangalore. But more than that, I think she's very passionate about bringing this to the people, to educate people in what they should be really eating and how they should be leading their lives healthy. As I said, I'm repeating it again. I think we really want those kind of experts, not who are keen to just get into therapy, but who are willing to give their time to educate people into healthy living. So Dr. Surya has been one of those fine catches of mine, if I may say so. Okay, so we are going to have Dr. Surya now talking about healthy diet, both from the preventive point of view and also as a panacea for a lot of diseases. Many of them are lifestyle diseases. I do understand she has been able to reverse a large number of lifestyle diseases ranging from diabetes, thyroid to cancer. And while we may not have a lot of time to, ask personal questions, but I'm going to ensure that we have at least 20 to 25 minutes for you to ask her as much as you can, and maybe continue to, take her advice in future. Over to you, Dr. Surya. You may unmute yourself. Dr. Surya still muted. Saurabh, can you help her? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
All right. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I think I'll have to, I don't know, you put such a big crown on my head. It feels rather heavy there, huh? Yeah.
I've said too little, I believe, because I think you've been there and supporting so many people throughout, all the time we have been associated.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let's hope I do some justice. I let's say naturopathy is my passion. That's what really struck with me when I saw disease all around me. I've worked in corporate hospitals and found things didn't work out right. So in search of the right thing that should be done, I think I was led to this path, and that's where I think the whole journey began, a beautiful journey. So I have some slides which I can show, but what I want to talk about is, if God gives you a wish, He comes in front of you and says, "What do you want in life?" What is it that one would ask? Money, fame, beauty, house, whatever. But ultimately, at the end, I think you have to remember that if you don't have health, there is no wealth. You may have all the money in the world, but if wealth is not there with you, health is not there, nothing works. So it is of that much importance. And one thing that you talk to old people or people who are approaching that is the fear of illness. Who will take care of me? I hope God keeps me hale and hearty. I don't want to have these things which I'm seeing around. This is the one thing that is very common for most of the people. But you know what? Health is totally in your hands. And you are only responsible for taking care of yourself. You can't say the environment is, or that is, or this is, or anything. You came to this earth with a beautiful body. The God or divine gave you a body that is absolutely perfect. But when you leave this world, how do you return this body back to the earth? That is something that we all need to be very conscious about. Very conscious. Am I going to give it with full of diseases, with lots of drugs and medicines in my body, which cannot be donated and which is toxic from inside? Or do I give it back in such a way that, because this is going to get recycled and come back to us again. If I give back something diseased, it's going to come back. That's why the earth and everything, a lot of natural resources and all are getting contaminated. This is a thought that we need to look into. And we can go on to the slide. I have a small slide, Saurabh, if you can help. So what I would like to say is, be health conscious, don't be self-conscious. If you have a car, how do you take care of your car? You understand a little bit, no, that this is the tire, if puncture ho gaya, then I have to take care of the puncture. And if I have to take care of the steering wheel, if I turn this way, it goes that way, and if I put the brakes, it will stop. So a little general understanding of the different parts of the body is there. In the same way, the car is there. In the same way, a little understanding of your body actually helps. Hands are for doing exercises, eyes for seeing, hearing capacity, digestion, all these, a little bit knowledge definitely helps in understanding. If you can take care of your car, which is brand new, and go for an AMC and everything, it should be the same way that you should be taking care of your body also. A little cleansing, a little fasting, a little detoxing, a little, everything should move in the right direction. And then the body actually functions better and supports you better. So don't put in food that is not pure, which is It should be chemical free, additives free, pesticides free, should be fiber rich, nourishing, and something that suits your body. And from time to time, of course, keep cleansing and rejuvenate. That is important. You know, why I'm talking about it is in your lifetime, an average person eats about 70 tons of food, which is a lot, which is really a lot. So actually, food does matter. So instead of being health conscious and saying, I'm going to eat this for iron, I'm going to eat this for calcium, I'm going to eat this for pain, I'm going to do moringa for something, I'm going to do this for something, wheatgrass for something. This is not how the body thinks. The body looks at food holistically. So don't isolate stuff from different things and say that I'm going to do this for this and that for that. Eat a nourishing and a well-balanced diet that suits your body, and then it becomes very difficult for the body to fall sick. That's why I said be health conscious, but don't be self-conscious. Each body type is different. Okay? So what exactly do you think health is? Just being absent from disease? It isn't that, no? Your mind also should be in a happy state. Your body also should be well, without aches and pains, energetic, bouncing with energy and enthusiasm. Jump into any activity like the way you were when you are a kid. If kids are listening, that is great. But health is not only that. You have to take care of your mind, body in complex, intelligence, your emotions. Everything matters. You can't do emotional toxicity also. Everything goes together. Ego. These are the ones that bother us from time to time. So looking at health, what exactly do you think health is? It's something so precious which just cannot be explained. You have to experience it. And that responsibility is in your hands, totally in your hands. Okay. So if you just look at it, what are we doing nowadays? We are falling sick more often, and we go to the doctor and get medicine if that is something that we want. But actually, you're working very hard, you're changing your lifestyle to earn money at a younger age, and later on spending that same money to gain back the health that you've lost later on. So the economics actually doesn't look right. You need to look into how to balance this better. Okay. So what would be the 4 major things that really support your health is a positive mental attitude. Even if you are sick and you believe that, you know, my body can recover, I have a strong mind, it will carry a weak body. This is how our cancer patients do extremely well. You help them and take care of their mental health, and finished. They are bouncing back with full of enthusiasm and energy and get over their condition so fast. Then balance your body with a lot of exercise. We are not born to sit around. We have to exercise. And when I say exercise, I don't mean hitting the gym or going and doing so many hours of physical labor or anything. It means getting up, moving around. Don't sit around. Go up the stairs, down the stairs, do some work at the kitchen, or go out to the garden, go for a small stroll or walk, play with your baby, smile. All these things are movement. You have to, because that's the way we were made. And eat a proper diet and see what else you can do. Sleep is so important. Make sure that you're sleeping. These 4 things are very essential for you to take care. Okay. And besides this, on the diet is what something you shouldn't be calling it even a diet. You should say, why am I eating food? Why do you think you're eating food? Probably you are looking at is nourishment or energy. That is the main reason. But what are the other things we are eating food for? We eat it because it feels good, it tastes good, there is a memory associated with it. Or in my culture, I do this, and this is the way mama made, and this is the way somebody else made. So you're looking at culture. You are now exposed to multiple cuisines from different parts of the world, and you want to explore. There is some kind of a satisfaction. Sometimes when you eat that chocolate, you feel, wow, for mood making. It's a comfort food. It could be a junk food, but their food also bonds. So there are a lot of things that we eat food for. And when you do all those things besides what it's supposed to do, which is energy and nourishment, that is when we fall sick. So it's very essential to see that you eat when your body asks for it, not for all the other reasons that food is also associated with. And once you feed these two things, that is energy and nourishment, the other things, the demands of the other things start reducing automatically. And when the demands reduce, what happens? It doesn't affect your body. So go ahead and enjoy your pizza. Go ahead and enjoy your kheer or even that ice cream, and you will still remain healthy. So when the diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. And when the diet is correct, medicine is of no need. This is very much written in our Ayurveda, and which is a sister concern of naturopathy. We have the same mother. So this is what is very essential for us to remember. So, so what is diet and disease? The vital link. Certain dietary practices can either cause or prevent a disease. So that is where it comes into Nadi Pariksha, where you test the pulse to find out if the condition of the body is healthy, or 6 months down the road there's something going to manifest or not, and how to take care of it before. Because as the seasons change, the body's demands also change. So this is actually the season for all kinds of respiratory diseases, and we are seeing that all over the world. And even in the clinical practice, we are seeing a lot of this. Very much seasonal. And as we move further into summer and move ahead, we start seeing intestinal disorders, liver disorders. And then as you move into the rainy season, it starts on with the larger colon and other diseases. So there is a pattern in nature also. So nature has created also food in such a way that at that point of time, when you have those diseases, those kinds of food and immunity building work material is available to us by nature. That's why fruits and vegetables are seasonal. They keep changing. Colors of certain things change. And our body also craves for certain things. Body wants either, sometimes it wants warm food, sometimes you feel like having a lot more juicy fruits. So this is something that we have to become aware of, the demands of the body, not the demands of the tongue. Okay. So Western philosophy came about talking about naturopathy's link. Naturopathy in a big way much later. But naturopathy has been practiced by every mother in the older generation. She would understand that this child of mine is going to be sick. So I'm not going to give this to this child, but she will feed the other children with something else. So one diet that mom cooked didn't feed all the children, which is what the way it is now. Somebody is not comfortable maybe with milk, somebody else is not comfortable with coconut, somebody else is not comfortable with something. The mother was capable of understanding those symptoms, but somewhere being individual families, we have lost it. So it's necessary that we get back to roots. So chronic diseases just don't happen, but it's something that has been manifesting in our body for a while. So the next slide, this is what it talks about. We eat our way into this mess, and we must eat our way out of this mess. And eating out of the way of this mess is painful. So it is a wise idea not to get into it in the first place. So when you eat out, there are a lot of restrictions and other things, and your tongue starts complaining. The next slide, I don't think needs any explanation. It gives you two colorful plates. I'm sure you can choose which one you want. You can eat a little bit of ghaspoos with a lot of pills, or you can fill it up with from what the pills came from in the first place, so that you never go back to that stage of pills. So health begins at your table. And your pantry, which is as colorful as it can get, is your pharmacy. All right, so eating a rainbow of colors, fruits and vegetables are very, very essential. Now, we are heading towards another direction totally. And you can see that little bit of a cartoon that I've put over there, which talks about heavy metal contaminations, pollution, and other things. And how the little man on the right side is spraying those plants with pesticides and stuff. You can see the skull mark on one side. And all he's saying is, you are spraying all these things with the mask on. How are you going to eat them? So I think this is where we are heading. Before we get to that point, let's learn to correct ourselves and eat well. And whatever you eat. Now, if you look at the next slide, it talks about food additions and stuff. There's one thing that I'd like to point out completely, or what shall I say? If real food was in front of us, do we need labels to read? But the food industry says, read the label. So if I have to read labels, then I should understand that it is not real food. This should be something like an alarm bell that goes on to my mind. I'm not saying you should not eat that at all, but I'm saying eat the right things first. So when you eat the wrong thing, the body takes care of it. And you can look at the meal in front with all kinds of things here, reading the labels with all the numbers and additives and what it will do to your body down the road. So eat foods which are healthy and good for you. There are stuff that you can use to control your blood sugar levels, diabetes, and cancer, and a lot of other things. And foods which are not to be consumed, don't consume them. And if you are a non-vegetarian, eat the way you should be eating, not with every meal, very little, and if it suits your body and if it is prepared the right way. But actually, we, with our teeth the way we have, we are supposed to be eating vegetables. We are chewers, not hunter-gatherers eating meat. Okay, so the right kind of fats. And before we go into, these are like general things that I'm putting up, but what I would actually like to talk about is disease. So what I'd like to say is, how do you recognize that you fall sick? The first thing that I'd like to say is, you have the feeling that your energy is low. When you start feeling that your energy is low, then please understand that something is not right. I don't have energy, I want to lie down, I don't have the creative power to do something. Can I push it to tomorrow? Lethargy, feeling drained. These are all indicators. These are all indicators to say that you are not healthy. So these are subtle indicators. So what do? You would rather say, okay, I'll have that coffee or that chai and then go to work because I really need it to wake me up. So please understand, this is a signal that your body is telling that it needs some attention. Maybe the food. Why would there be a lack of energy? Either the tasks that you're doing is too much and the amount of energy that you have in your balance is very less, or the demands are more, or you are not having enough in your wallet, but you want to complete the normal set of work, whatever it may be. This is the first indicator. Second is, the body says, oh, this person is not listening to me, not slowing down. I'm not able to recuperate and do what I need to do. So I'm going to give some indications. So it starts storing small kinds of toxemia, what we say, shows indicators like a rough skin. The lips are not nice and moist, but they're beginning to crack. Skin becomes dry. Maybe there is dandruff, or, the skin looks tired and dull, and the bowels are not clearing properly, on and off. Odors in the body, mouth begins to smell. Small things, indicators like this. This happens, but then what do? We'll borrow that anti-dandruff shampoo, change your deodorant, do kind of things to mask a few things and think things are okay. But that is again adding to the problem. So next stage that we go on to is irritation. The body understands that now the toxic levels inside are beginning to accumulate. So there is some irritation. So every few months it decides to throw up the thing. Maybe you develop a rash, or the cough comes back with a force, or there is some sore spot on your skin and that keeps coming eruption, or there may be that pain, joint pain that was fine, it didn't went away, and then suddenly it comes back, and then you start thinking, what did I do wrong? So these are all irritations to body to tell you that, hey, the toxicity in my body is going up, take care of it. But that's when we go and take up that medication and say, band karo, isko theek karna hai. I have a lot of things to do. I just need to get moving. So I suppress the symptoms, but the body is still struggling. The one thing that the body wants to do at every time is to survive. It does not want to die. It is going to work its best to survive. This is something that should be very clear in your mind. It is much more intelligent than our little minds. God has created this body. Man has not created. So it knows exactly what to do. So after that irritation and other things goes, then the body becomes inflamed. That part begins to pain so bad and you're not able to move it. So what do? You have to give it rest. The body forces you to say, okay, this needs attention right now. It's not going to move. I'm going to put that inflammation over there. And that's when, then you will rush to the doctor and say, Sujan ho gaya, darad ho raha, ye ho raha, give me that medications, steroids, anti-painkillers, all those things will all start coming into the thing.
कहाँ गए बच्चे?
But our immune system, still there is hope for it, and it starts thinking, I need to do better. And the germs and other things starts their activity, it starts going up, body is struggling. At that point, you'll go to the doctor says, I'm sorry, you have autoimmune. How can a body eat its own body? This is something that is not clear. So in naturopathy, we do not believe that there is something called autoimmune. So this is something as a Western concept. So I would say that think seriously about what you have been doing. All of us go through different stages, maybe different parts of our body are in different stages. Just realize what it is that we are doing. As the toxicity continues and you begin to endure the pain and the excruciating pain, the killers, and then what happens? Oh, fibroid ho gaya, bleeding ho raha hai, chalo, thyroid ho gaya, it has become Hashimoto's, can't reverse, you can't do this, let's remove the organ. This is where it moves on. Removing the organ does not address the root cause, why it originated in the first place. Did you slow down? Did you listen to the body? Did you do what you were supposed to do, like detox, rest, sleep, manage your lifestyle better? These are things that we never pay attention to. But if we start, body still can go back all the way and reverse itself. As it continues to do that and toxicity increases, then it says, okay, I'm going to put all the toxins in one part of the body and encapsulate it. That's when it becomes like a cyst or, a lesion, what you call. Encapsulates it and says, this is toxic. When the person slows down and I have enough time to do my job, I'm going to take this out and throw it. But that's when it gets caught up in the scan or someplace and they go through surgery, Nikalo or Stofinko, then they'll do the biopsy to find out if it is cancerous, non-cancerous, all these things. What's the use of finding out something which is toxic, which your garbage bin mein jana hai? You look at it and you analyze to find out if it is आज का कचरा, कल का कचरा, 10 साल का कचरा, किस दिन का कचरा, कचरा तो कचरा है. Why do you want to even dig into it? You have to assist the body to help it out. And at this stage also, if you do not do the necessary detoxing and reversing and relaxing and slowing down, it turns itself into cancer. Why? Because it forgets what it needs to do. It doesn't know how to move back. So it becomes calcified, becomes a lump, becomes a bump, whatnot. A polyp or a cyst or fibroid or whatever changes itself into something different. So before it goes to that stage, address the all systems, your body, the mind, the intellect, memory, ego. All of these need to be addressed together. Don't look at a disease symptomatically. Oh, I have diabetes means my pancreas is not working. It's not true. We are born with a set amount, God gives each of us a health wallet and says this much of enzymes you have, this much of hormones you have in your lifetime. This is what you have to use till you die. But if you're not using, if you're using overusing it, then you will fall into disease. So it is better that you use these natural gifts very judiciously, consciously, respecting this body as a divine gift. So what actually naturopathy does is takes the healing power of nature and treats the whole person in all these fields: body, mind, intellect, memory, ego, breath. Work with all these things and with the culture that you are in, the area you are in, and helps you recognize your link so that you can come out of these health issues. Then you are a bouncing bubble of joy, and you can probably match up your energy with anybody else in the world. So take care of your body. This is the only temple you have. You don't have another one that you can dispose and work with. So I strongly suggest look into this. Learn to listen to your body. Respect it when it starts giving signals. Understand. See, your baby is crying. Won't you find out why the baby is crying? Is it because of sleep? Is it because of hunger? Is the diaper wet? Or is the baby in pain? You will analyze to find what are these things. Or maybe mosquito was biting, or there was a shock. Some stranger came and touched the baby. Whatever it is, we find the reason for the baby's crying. This body is also like your baby. When it is having a headache, find out. Maybe I didn't eat. I've been starving because I have not had time to eat. Few minutes, or I'm not slept properly, or I'm too tired, or too many things to do, and yet you will pop that headache pill and move on, or take a mug of coffee or tea and have that and keep on going. These are things which will affect the body. Learn to understand and your body signals. Then falling sick is very difficult. So
Yeah. We are hitting at 9:40 now almost, Dr. Surya.
So let me stop here and let's see if there are any questions. We can take that.
Yeah. I think there would be the first set of questions I would think can be around what does naturopathy recommend? So one is of course that we know that we have to take care of our body, what we're consuming in our body, cleanse ourselves, detoxify from time to time. Are there any specific recommendations which naturopathy gives to us, to take care of our body?
See, let's take care of the simple things first. We eat food daily. Definitely make sure that your food is clean. Clean meaning pesticide free, additives free. Eat real food. See, if you look at it, where do I buy my food from? If I go to the supermarket dictates the way I eat or buy my food. Have you noticed it?
Right.
It will bring you food from all over the world. So you're tempted to eat. So what they are doing, they are asking you to buy the food which is not part of your local area. Number one. And the way they pack it. If you want 250 grams, they will pack it only in 500 grams. You're forced to buy more. Is it cleaned and processed? I don't have the time. So, okay, I will give you the shredded and the pre-cut and partially processed. So it's the supermarket which is actually dictating. terms on how I should be eating and how I should not be eating. And we are actually not preparing food. We are outsourcing our food. This should be a line of caution for everybody. We should not. We should take care of the food we are eating. Then what is put in those food? First thing is sugar. Do you know even your salt has sugar? If you have iodized salt, iodine is bitter to taste. So look at the reading. You take your regular salt and put it in a small katori and squeeze a little bit of lime over it. See if it changes blue. You will know that it has starch in it, dextrose, that they are doing to mask the taste of the bitterness of iodine. Sugar is in almost all the products that you eat. So first thing, get rid of that. Make your own food and you get out of this. So that sweetness should come as energy, but don't take it in the form of a spoonable way, like sugars added from the top. Salt, change over to something natural. So many green leafy vegetables are salty by nature. Take celery, salty. Take coriander, salty. So if I garnish my foods with such things, my salt intake comes down. And after cooking your vegetable, then add the salt. Don't add the salt before only and cook. So add salt last. Then the quantity of salt that you add becomes down. Anything that is refined, anything that is white, like white rice, white atta, all these things get rid of. Don't have all those things because they are devoid of all kinds of nourishment. That is not true. And the milk that we take, not everybody is comfortable with milk. Those who are, we don't have to force them. Say, no, it's not necessary. Those who can tolerate it can have, but don't take milk like the way our Punjabis do, big tumbler full of milk. That's not how it is. If it is needed, take a small amount. And there is a time for it. Give it in the night because it induces sleep. Not the first thing in the morning, doodh pilaya or bhagaya school. It doesn't work. The kid will go there and feel sleepy. So that's what milk is supposed to do. To help you sleep better. You want to send that kid to school for what reason? So,
what is your opinion about raw food, Dr. Surya?
Raw food is quite good. Raw food has its own digestive enzymes in it. So, should not be a problem at all. Only, of course, there are some exceptions to certain diseases where we don't give. Otherwise, raw food is great. If you are digestion enzyme compromised, I certainly suggest that you eat raw food along with your cooked food so that your energy levels remain stable better and your food gets digested.
Any tips for gut health? Because we understand that gut health is really key to keeping a healthy body.
That is the only thing. All the microbes are living in your body. How do you think you're thinking? How do you think you're making your judgment? Why do you say it's gut instinct tells me to do this and not that? Because it's the bacteria. If you don't have them, you are a mess. You have a life because they are there. If they are not there, it's gone. So if you take antibiotics, indiscriminately, it's going to kill everything. It's going to kill everything. It's going to kill the good and the bad. And then what do you feed? That is important. Am I going to feed the good or am I going to feed the bad?
What does naturopathy recommend for keeping a good gut health apart from the normal food?
A normal food is enough to take care of it. Eat foods with a lot of colors, fiber. That is fruits and vegetables make a big part of that. They don't add calories or fat or protein or anything, but vitamins and minerals, they are the main things that take care of this.
Okay. I think Kasi had a question. Kasi, would you like to ask a question? There are quite a few questions in the chat box. Kasi, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Kasi, can you hear me?
Yeah, Gauri, thanks for that. I had just wanted your suggestions on these health supplements that are available in the market. They claim it to be like naturally sourced. So you can take, for example, there are a lot of products, Herbalife and Avon and Nutrilite from Amway. So I just need your what's your thought on it? Is it actually good to take it as part of health supplement?
Why do you want it? Why do you
No,
think body needs supplements?
no, the reason I asked, like you had mentioned somewhere in your slide, health supplements. So, what is your suggestion on the health supplements that you had mentioned?
Okay.
So, it's like it's from the natural vegetables. If so, like from what all we can get.
Okay. So let me
Because
say, when
the
you
reason
take,
being, health supplements like
I
for
didn't say
older
health supplements. I'm sure must have said supplementing measures for your diet. That could be it. What I am trying to tell you is, when you isolate and say, okay, I'm going to eat moringa because it helps me with my bones, or I'm going to eat fish because the omega-3 is essential, or I'm going to eat something else, milk for strong teeth and bones. That's not the way your body is thinking. Body looks at food for nourishment and energy priority. If you do not give the nourishment, it means it's going to take from somewhere else to get that work going. So eat foods which contain these in a holistic way. So my meal should have all the 6 Shat Rasas. You can Google it. 6 Shat Rasas are quite famous. We talk about all the different tastes. So sweet, sour, astringent, bitter. All these tastes are essential in every meal. If one of them is lacking or more than one is lacking, cravings will arise, aches and pains will come, thoughts will change. Lot of these are indicators to tell you that your meal is not complete. So even vitamins and minerals, supplements, if you need, fine, you know that they are coming from your food. Now, if it is coming from my food, why can't I eat my food directly? That is one. Second, are the supplements readily bioavailable? I am popping the pill thinking that I am getting my iron, but my iron is leading to constipation or tarry black stools, which I am finding difficult. What do? But if I eat the same thing in a natural form, it has fiber in it, and I'm eating it in combination with so many other things, whether it is my dal or rice or millet or salad or whatever. Then what happens? Something from A, B, and C combine with this and gets absorbed. So bioavailability of natural foods is a divine creation. The way the body absorbs that will be priority number 1. When you pop in a pill, it may not work as much. So if I'm not chronically and critically ill and the doctor has to inject something to override the digestion process and send it, then I would suggest, why do you need supplements? You really don't.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
thank you. And I think that's a very good point and a very good takeaway, that instead of popping in supplements, if we actually have natural foods in place of supplements, or rather, natural food should be the priority. Find the right natural foods, and the nourishment. That is, I think, very key to the whole process of naturopathy. There's quite a few questions around acidity and constipation and raw food. So first quick one is raw food good for constipation? I mean, there are people who
Raw food
experience.
would be excellent for constipation. Also hydration. Don't drink guzzles of water and think constipation will go. When you drink 5 liters, saying my body, the doctor says I should drink 3 liters a day, 5 liters a day. Understand you're overworking your kidneys, because the minute you finish that, you will afterwards run to the loo to clear off all that liquid. You're giving extra work to the body. You also should be very smart. What makes me not go to the loo so often and yet I remain hydrated? Take your finger and I draw a line, draw a line on your skin. If you see a white line, if you see a mark, then you understand that you are not hydrated enough. Okay, so Just draw and see. If I'm not getting a line, then I know I'm very well hydrated. And hydration doesn't mean drinking water. It also means eating juicy fruits, vegetables, tender coconut water, ganne ka juice is coming now. These are things which have minerals and electrolytes in them. That makes the water more acceptable to the body than drinking water.
Balwant, would you like to ask your question? Balwant, are you there?
So this was on constipation.
Balwant, Balwant wants to know what are the best foods for liver and gallbladder health.
Again, let's not look at isolating an organ, because when you eat your food, everything passes through the liver. Liver is like your policeman. It says roko. I'm inspect karenge, and if you're okay, I'll send you. If you're not, it holds it back. It doesn't let it go and holds it on till the time you begin to rest, which is, there is a circadian cycle that our body follows. And anytime from 10:30 close to 11 onwards till about 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, your liver is doing its job of detoxing. If you're not asleep, you bet the next day that garbage is going to be added on. It's not going to be sitting there quiet. It's going to make friends. That's how toxicity begins to build. So don't isolate and say, okay, I'm going to eat for my liver, I'm going to eat for my gallbladder, I'm going to eat for my heart, I'm going to eat for my kidney. No, body doesn't look at all those compartments. You give it food, it will take it and send it to the right organ it needs. So anytime you're talking about sluggish feeling, not able to digest, farting, acidity, gas, understand that your digestive combination of foods are wrong. And eat foods that are made at home. Use very little oil, exercise from time to time, even go on a fruit diet, or some half day fruit, something like that. Rest properly, stress, attend to your stress. These things are things that will work for liver and gallbladder. Easy to digest foods, fried and things. See, summer is approaching, but if you see the bhajia wala on the street, your mouth will water. Oh, samosa, bhajia. But this is not the season. The liver is going to cringe. Eating anytime, eating after sundown is a tax for your liver. Your body also needs rest, but that's when you will stuff yourself, eat your dinner at 8 and 9 and go to bed by 10 and 11. Kitchen in the house is still running when you go to sleep. Body does not get rest. And when, see, if you take a biscuit that you eat takes about 6 hours to digest. And if you drink a cup of tea or coffee, it takes 24 hours for it to come out of your system. And before that one is also out, you have had the second cup and the third cup and will move water.
So there is a natural detoxing process which is always happening, especially when we are eating right and when we are resting right and when we are...
Naturally. See, anytime you put anything in, there is an output. Always there is an output. So if you're eating for nourishment and energy, remember the body has energy. It's going to work. There is going to be urination. There is going to be sweat. There is going to be stool. The 9 dwaras are working right. Everything will happen on its own. And that is how it is supposed to happen. There will be lactic acid production. There will be uric acid production. All these things happen. And the organs will take care of it naturally. But if I eat something wrong, that becomes, it's like, I don't have time to attend to these chores, these files. I'm going to keep it here and attend to them over the weekend. And that weekend, you're very busy, doesn't happen. The next weekend, again, that file plus some more keeps happening. This accumulation is what causes the whole stages, different stages of disease. So at some point, I need to say, okay, I need to slow down. I have to attend to my files. Otherwise, it's going to get bad. I won't have time. I'll get headache. I'll get stressed. I'll do whatever and do it. So don't look at body only as being stressed. Your mind is a very important factor.
So one question, Dr. Surya, is that say we have come to a stage where accumulation has happened, a lot of toxins have come together and causing us all these, beginning to cause us problems. We know we could, head towards a disease. What is the process of detoxification naturopathy would recommend from time to time?
There is not one process. It depends on which part. See, everybody has a weak spot. For somebody, it could be the skin. For somebody, it could be the digestive system. Somebody, it could be emotional issues. It could be different areas of manifestation. So if I'm having constipation, then I know that my intestines are blocked. So typically you will find that cases, then it affects the thinking, it affects the kind of food you eat, because everything is getting mixed in the same area. So the detox process will be different for different body types, and also depends on season. There are certain seasons where we do not do detox. We should not do.
Okay.
So it is Ritucharya and also Dinacharya that you need to take care of. And
So
body
different
type.
body types here would mean, of course, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and the Prakriti.
Combination. See, there is
Combinations.
very, I'll say, the percentage of pure Vata, Pitta, and Kapha probably non-existent, or very few. Always it's a combination of Vata or Pitta, or Vata and Kapha and Pitta. It's always a combination. Almost always. 99% it's almost always. And the best way to do Nadi Pariksha is to go 12 hours fasting. And then you can go through all the stages, all the layers of your existence, you know. You can touch the body level, and then you go to different layers to find out from both your pulse readings from either side, and find out exactly where the person is and how he will be 10 years down the road, or how he was even in his childhood. All these things you can find out. But if you go for a short period of say 3 hours and 2 hours, then it is only a superficial kind of Nadi Pariksha. That also, there are excellent Nadi Pariksha doctors who can do a lot more. But if you want a really good reading, best is to go fasting for a longer period of time. And that also, the illness also depends on the Prakriti type. If you are Kapha, then you are Kapha predominant, then you have a lot more of those kind of diseases. If you have Vata predominant, then the diseases are different. And as we age, we move from Kapha towards Vata. This is a natural process. You cannot stop it. It's like black hair graying to a white. This is the way it is.
Yes. So we had a session on Ayurveda last week, and many of us are now at least got a sense of how Ayurveda works, how, you know, what is Prakriti, how the doshas work, etc. So I think it was a good, what do you say, logical movement towards naturopathy, because once you know your body type, and then you also understand, you know, what you should eat, what you should not, when to eat, when you should not. There are three things which trouble, I think, a lot of us, thanks to the fact that we have not taken care of our foods. Uh, Three very common ailments is acidity, thyroid, hypothyroid in particular, and diabetes, which is high blood sugar. Anything which you would recommend to start working on oneself to reverse these? Which
What I would okay, let's start with hormonal issues. It's become very common now. In those days, you know, we used to have family planning. When I was a kid, my mother's age people and all of them used to go and get themselves, you know, family planning was a big thing. Now I see that having a child is a big thing. Everywhere there is only fertility clinic that's happening. So somewhere something is very wrong.
right.
This we need to understand. First thing, the killer is stress. Now, if I have a snake in this room, as I'm talking to you, do you think I'll be comfortably talking to you, or my attention is on the snake?
Yeah.
What is the first thing that comes? Both of us will run out of the room.
Yes.
Either we'll run away from there, or you have to do something to take care of that situation immediately. So you're not looking. See, when you are in a stress mode all the time, so many files need. And every day we are put through stress, whether you are aware of it or not. I need to reach this spot on time. So what's happening? From one point to the other point when I'm traveling, if a car comes or a red signal is there or a cyclist comes in between, that is an alarm bell going up. So that is a point of stress. How many things can I finish? So in this 24 hours, I need to do so many tasks. which may be unrealistic. That also causes a stress. Then if you're eating the wrong combination of food, now that summer is coming, let me put, so many of you will be drinking yogurt, fruit yogurts and milkshakes with fruit. Let me tell you, that is going to be the biggest stress that you put in your system, because fruit and milk just do not go together. It is viruddhahara. So you understand, these are things. So food could be causing a stress. Your relationship could be causing a stress. Your office work, commuting thing, things not happening, children's behavior, whatever it may be. Lot of things keep stressing us. So what's happening to the adrenal in your system? It goes up. It may have begun to come down when the next stress comes. Then, we are always in this point. We've never come to ground zero. This is one of the biggest triggers for hormonal imbalances. Second is the food. Like I said, salt. The iodine that you're getting in your salt is not bioavailable. So make sure that you switch your salt to something very natural. Natural, unrefined sea salt available with a lot of iodine already present naturally. Why should I buy a salt which has iodine added to it and it is free flowing and white in color? Why would I bleach something and take it off? My alarm bell should go. If I buy that packet of oil and it says added A and D vitamin, when I know that A and D is already present in the seed, why should I buy something which says added? Why should I add something unnatural and say it is added? These are things that we need to see. First contributor is stress, lifestyle. My body demands rest, but no, I have to hit the bar. I have to enjoy. I have to do certain things. That is again something. Learn to respect your body. I need to sleep means that 8 hours of sleep is important. Not 7.5, not 4 hours now and 3 hours later. I'm sorry. Doesn't work like that. When the birds and the bees, can you put up the birds and the bees and say, no, you can't sleep at 11 o'clock. You have to get up only at 3 o'clock. They'll not listen to you. But we will sit up and watch that late night movie and think that things will take care of itself. These are all things that put stress. Main thing is that stress, lifestyle, alcohol, and all kinds of other combinations, not eating the right food. These are things that cause. I have written about this in one of the blog spots called Healthy Buddha. Please go on to that. In detail, I have given how to reverse PCOD and other hormonal issues. That should give you a good idea. Second thing is acidity. Now, remember there are two things. One is lack of acid. One is more production of acid. Most of the time, the less acid is also put in together as acidity and medicines are given. So when you have acidity, understand it could be 90% of the cases, or I won't say 90, let's say about 80% of the cases is lack of acid. You have gas, you have bloating, you're farting, you're burping, whatever, then you understand that there is not enough acid in your system to digest the food. So probably you are eating too much of cooked and processed and refined foods. If you can combine your food with some raw food, the raw food will help digest the cooked food. Don't overcook your food also. You have teeth, learn to chew well, mix properly with the saliva, with a heart full of gratitude. You buy the food, you cook it, eat it with awareness, with mindfulness. Don't look at the TV or a WhatsApp or the iPhone or iPad and eat your food. Eat with awareness. Every mouthful, chew and thank the person who made the food and chew. Acidity will not come. If you make sure that you're chewing your food at least 20-30 times before you swallow, I have a rule which I say, eat your liquids and drink your solids. That's the way it should be. You'll never get acid. And if you have acid, which is less, go ahead and take a shot of lemon or something after the food. Have some ginger also to it. And see, it should go. Don't pop in that pills, antacids and stuff. It's going to reduce the acid even further. Anti-acid is going to bring it down further. It's not going to help you in any way. You can even have one of those club soda. Thoda sa club soda pee lo. Theek ho jayega. But don't make that as a rule. The rule should be correcting the diet, not after effects of the diet. See, when you look at food, food doesn't react. what happens? The food enters your body works on the food, isn't it? So what you need to correct? And if you are
Yeah.
hyperacidic, then of course the condition is very different. The symptoms are very different, ulcers and stuff. So that will need some medical advice. But most of the cases are low acids. It's not high acid. Okay, what was the third one?
I wanted to touch very quickly on thyroid was the third one. I think that is
Thyroid is
again
what I said,
Diabetes,
hormonal, yeah.
diabetes as
Thyroid.
well.
Diabetes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Diabetes can be
Thyroid.
due to multiple reasons. According to our books, there are some 16 to 16 plus or almost 16 types of diabetes. So that we have to address, finding out what kind it is. It is the abuse of the body by eating, most common, let me say, a lack of exercise. Second is stress. Stress, sitting, doing, not moving much. The lack of foods which are high in fiber. Eat lots of colors, eat all the fruits. Diabetics are asked not to eat fruits. I'm telling you, eat all the fruits that you can and see how your sugar levels begin to drop. Eat lots of vegetables, eat lots of green leafy vegetables, and all kinds of flavors and aromatic substances, and enjoy your food. And switch over from refined to whole foods like millets, and eat in a proportion that is suitable for your body. If you feel that energy is dipping, that means you have eaten. See, food is supposed to energize you. Why do you want to feel sleepy and lethargic? Classic example is like when you go to a wedding. You eat the food there, you come home and you find that so much work is left. Meri bai nahi aayi. What will you do? Will you just pick up your jhadu and start working, or will you say, nahi, abhi mujhe thoda der so jane do? That should be a ringing an alarm bell in my mind. What am I eating? If my food is supposed to energize me, why do I feel sleepy? Am I overeating? Am I eating too much? Or is my combination wrong? Am I eating half my plate filled with vegetables and stuff? This should be the outlook for a diabetic. So if you do not address this now, then it becomes a full-blown diabetes later on. So before you medicate yourself, if you medicate yourself is the biggest problem. So it's a lifestyle disease. So if you go to allopathy, I have nothing against allopathy. I will support it. If you're having a cardiac arrest or something and you come to me, I'm sorry. I will tell you, please go to the hospital. So, but don't think that, allopathy will help reverse some of my diseases. Make sure that you correct, look at alternative medicine to look at certain lifestyle diseases like PCOD, hypothyroidism, cancers, acidity, diabetes, hypertension. These are some things which can be very well addressed and reversed with alternative medicine, whereas allopathy may not have an answer for all of this. So
Absolutely.
food
That brings me
combinations
to
for a diabetes matters, and looking at symptoms. Is my absorption proper? I may be eating a good diet, but is my system absorbing everything that I'm eating, or is there a problem? Am I missing out something? Suppose I don't have B12 in my system, not to the right amount, and I'm eating food, but B12 is necessary to connect one bogey with another, one nutrient with another, and carry it into the cell. I don't have that. Then what am I going to do? This is also waiting, that is also waiting. You understand? These are some things which will help you. So it is better to go and see an alternative practitioner for most of the lifestyle diseases, and they do get reversed.
that
But
brings
if
me
you
to a
push it to
very
the last stage, you go into the dialysis state and say, मुझे hypertension भी है, diabetes भी है, creatinine levels भी ऐसा है, thyroid का गोली भी लेते हैं, mental. You come to so many layers. Reversing is a very slow and painful process. Sometimes it may not go as far. There may be some irreversible damage. Age also will work against it. So it's always better to understand. I'm feeling tired. Okay, what is wrong in lying down and taking a nap for 10 minutes? I'm not saying sleep. Just lie down with your eyes closed. Put up your feet. Most of us should do this. If you're feeling sleepy, or right after a meal, whether you're feeling or sleeping or not, your body's focus is digestion. So if I give 10 minutes for that and say, okay, now I will just focus on lying down. So I lie down flat, put up my feet on a chair or something, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you see when you get up, how much more energetic you are. Because where the body needs to do what, that part is done. And then, you are able to take up and go. So these are things that you can do to reverse diabetes. And don't force yourself, say, yeah, I need to lose weight, I need to do this. It's not that. You find out what kind of diabetes depending on your prakriti. Depending on the prakriti, the food also combination will change. But it is
Okay.
very much reversible. Unless, of course, it is, a different type, like type 1 or something. Or due to surgery, you had some complication, something is removed. Then it is different.
Dr. Surya, you've been doing, and I think it's a kind of a secret almost, but I'm going to unfold that secret. You've been doing some very good work on immunity and cancer. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on it. I know that we don't have, first of all, the kind of time, and this is not the right forum to bring it up in detail. But I definitely want to understand what immunity means for us and how we should keep our immunity high. Some of the things, of course, typically, as I understand, immunity gets affected by our, mental, emotional health also. But are there things which you can recommend so that uh, what today is being considered as the key cause of cancer is taken care of?
Here, approaching cancer holistically is the most important thing. I'm not saying only diet. You have to look into the mental condition. Most of the cancer patients who come to me, see, take cancer like you would take uh, a cold or a cough or a fever. If you have cold, cough, or fever, will your alarm bells go up? No, na.
No.
You'll just lie down and say, okay, aaj bukhar hai, cold hai, cough hai. No, I just want to take a break. I'm going to lie down, rest, and it will get over. So if the diagnosis is cancer, please understand that your alarm bells should not go off in that direction. Okay, this will also go. What do I need to do now? This is what we need to put across to every patient. Take it lightly. Everybody, even I, you, everybody has cancer cells in their body right now as we are talking. But why does it manifest in some and not in the others? It's because of our immune system. Our immune system are the policemen in our body. So if I go, and now let's talk about the basic symptom, bukhar aa raha hai. What do? You will run and say, okay, I'll take this Tylenol, I'll take this Dolo, I'll do this, bring down my fever. Why do you want to do that? Your immune system is raising the temperature of your body to kill the germs. पानी क्यों गर्म करते हो? उसका germs मरने के लिए ना. You don't have other ways to filter your water. You will boil your water and drink, no? That temperature, 100 degrees, is okay for the water to boil, but your body is giving 100 degrees, you go into a panic attack. If the body knows 104.4 is the temperature at which this virus will die, then what is the temperature going to go up to? 104.4 only. But at that time you are saying 102, 103, 104, kya hoga? You want to bring it down. Then it's like opening the door and say, "Ah, bell mujhe maar." Why do you do that? Body knows. It will take care of the virus. And when will the fever come down? It will come down when the body has done its job. And that time what the mother is saying, "Bacha khaya nahi, piya nahi, so raha hai ye." Are you are fighting the enemy, your body is thinking about cooking. Is thinking about digesting. वो तो नहीं होगा ना. Automatically when the fever falls, it will take care. It's the same thing with the cancer. Our immunity system is such that it takes care of all these things. If I detox my body from time to time, listen to it, the cancer will not go so far. It will not even spread. There will be time for it to get contained and thrown out. And that throwing out part happens especially when the sun is set. When the night is happening, you are supposed to be in bed. But if you are in bed with your mobile and look at the screen and the blue light, your brain doesn't fall asleep. It is still active mode. So it's very essential that you finish your dinner 3 hours before your bedtime. Go to sleep early. Listen to soothing music and happy things that makes you unwind. This is important. Address your emotional quotient. This one, anger is there, anguish is there, depression is there. These are things, are switches that will switch on the cells in your body. You think about your mom and your heart fills up with love. You think about somebody who did something bad to you and immediately your emotions change. That has to be solved. You have to send them either to counseling or some kind of a spiritual practice to understand where you are. Breath makes a very important difference here. I have found a lot of success with people who do the practice, the Sudarshan Kriya and do the Sahaj meditation, which I strongly recommend to help them connect to a higher source. And it's so much more relief that they find. Half the work there is done. Then you clean up your system. What are the toxins in the body that have gone so far? It could be as simple as deworming, to eating the right combinations of food, or giving them supplements if they are extremely malnourished in the right way, and then take them up from there. Then also some other practices that we do, like Niru Chikitsa helps, Marma, these things have helped tremendously bring these cases in the, or reverse these cases is what I should say. So eating a rainbow of colors, very essential to prevent. Let's go into prevention instead of cure. Eat a rainbow of colors. Make sure that there are lots of colors. The minute you look at it, you say, "Arey, I want to dive into this first." And make it interesting. No, our food in India is so rich in taste, herbs, spices, so many. So make all your chutneys and nuts and whatever you want. You put it over there. Go back to your traditional garnishes and make it so much more tasty.
Surya, we are coming to almost an end of our session. It's past 10:15 now. And I remember last year when we had carried out the 7-week health challenge for living without medicine, you had some of the most amazing summer smoothies and, what say you? So I was just wondering if you could share a couple of them right now. Of course, the recipes can go later online, but just love to know what we should be really having this summer.
See, summer is a time to hydrate yourself. So make best use of cane juice, make best use of coconut water as your base. Okay. So anything that is a juicy fruit, fruits you keep aside. Do not mix fruits with vegetables. They digest differently. So put your sweet fruits together. See, this morning I had a banana smoothie with lovely Sangli grapes, organic grapes that came from Sangli,
Banana,
Maharashtra.
acha.
Banana with grapes and a touch of vanilla.
Oh, wow.
It was
Okay.
awesome. Okay,
Okay.
so all kinds of fruits which are seasonal and locally available, jump on them, get on them. Buy your fruits and vegetables not from the supermarket, from the thela wala, whoever is passing by, because he gets fruits and vegetables day-to-day basis and from the market fresh. Don't get it any fresher than that. That makes wonderful. All kinds of sweet fruits, make your smoothies. If they are slightly sour, like if strawberry is a little sour, add them up with some musambi or an orange and stuff like that. Add some kind of coconut water and make your smoothie. These are things that will keep you hydrated without having to drink lots of water. Okay. And you can also have vegetable smoothies. In vegetable smoothies, make sure you add a touch of ginger or some mint and stuff like that, which keeps your system cool and gives you the energy as
The
well.
Loki is a great
Lauki hai, tinda hai,
cucumber.
hai, cucumbers, tomato, ash gourds, ridge gourd, everything actually. All the gourds
This is
on these.
wonderful.
Add
This is
them.
great. I know, Ms. Surya, you're just full of so much knowledge. We can just go on and on. I just want to, I don't want to stop myself, stop this session with, all the questions by, asked by me. Want to give at least one person more a chance. Is there anybody who has a very pressing need for before we wind up.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Gauri. I just wanted to know about the thyroid. We missed on that.
We talked about hormonal issues.
Okay, if it is hyper or hypothyroid, both are reversible. Okay.
Okay.
So
what can be done?
What can be done is, first thing, change your salt.
Okay.
Second thing, look at adding lot more vegetables and fruits into your diet, and have them when your stomach is, like, the first thing before you have a cooked meal. Have them, but when you're having your meal, make sure that you have some raw in your diet. It's not like 2 pieces of cucumber and 3 pieces of tomato and 1 piece of onion which makes a salad. Put lots of colors. Okay, and if the doctor is saying don't eat cabbage, don't eat broccoli, don't eat cauliflower, do the first thing, eat only them.
Okay.
Okay, change the salt, eat that. In fact, reduce your salt intake in your salads and all. Don't add salt, and go on and change the oil. Very important, change your oil. Use very less and go for some regional oil that is made in your area. Third is stress. Most important, stress. Address the stress. Go to bed on time. And I've written about hormonal changes in our Art of Living website, as well as in Healthy Buddha website, where it is published. Please go ahead and look
Buddha,
it
you
up.
said Living Buddha.
Healthy Buddha.
Healthy Buddha.
Healthy
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Right.
There's another question I've been asking.
Yeah, 1 minute. In case the doctor says you have to have this pill all your life, remember, that means your body is not intelligent. It doesn't know how to repair itself, and you keep giving medicine from outside. That's not a fact. So anytime
Dhania water. What about dhania water? Dhania really helps, right?
I has not got any connection. If you have dhania in your cooking, is more than enough.
Is it?
Kindly say something about how to take care of the joints.
Joints.
Joint
Are you
pains.
a tea and a coffee drinker?
Sorry?
Tea, coffee?
Not really. Once in the morning and once in the evening, I take
That's
coffee.
enough. Like I said, if I have 1 cup of tea or coffee, I need at least 16 glasses of the same amount for it to be removed from my system. And it takes 24 hours. The first place that the water is stored is between your joints. So if I have 2 joints that are working, there is something in between that keeps that from touching each other.
Got it.
The liquid is there. So if I drink tea and coffee, from here little, from here little, it keeps moving out. Because I'm not drinking that kind of water to remove.
Okay, avoiding them completely will help?
Avoiding them completely is a good start. Then you start hydrating. Start hydrating your system also.
Oh, hydrating, okay.
Putting the water in the form of electrolytes, whether it is vegetable juices, fruit juices, and you should see a big difference.
Sure. And what about the oil, what we use? Should we be using oil and the ghee?
Yeah, you can use both, but make sure that you don't overdo it.
Okay.
And using some local topical application of warm ghee with herbs and stuff will help with the pains. Pain is an indicator that your system needs, that part of your body needs rest.
Okay.
Instead, we will just check it out. Arey, haath mera toot gaya, let me check. Kaam kar raha hai ki nahi? But वो नहीं करना. Rest जब देना है, देना है.
Most of us actually give it too much rest. That's the problem.
No, that is a different. I'm talking about work your other joints, not the joint which hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So this is wonderful. I'm just coming back. Just a moment.
Suryaji, I have one question. I am on 80 to 90% of raw food diet from last 2 months, and I'm experiencing a lot of constipation with the raw food. What might be the reason?
What is the combination you're using, and are you removing the fibers?
No, I mean, you mean the peel peeling, peeling.
How do you make your raw food? Tell me. What is it that you're eating?
Like all the vegetables, like 5 to 6 varieties of veggies, I grate it and I eat it without anything. Like I add a little bit flaxseed powder and that's it.
Okay. So can you tell
So,
me what
and lot of
vegetables you're
fruits,
putting?
vegetables like carrot, beetroot, gourd, one gourd compulsory, and cucumber.
Okay.
Mm,
You are eating these for what reason?
I have a lot of joint pains, arthritis, for the
Ah,
arthritis.
okay. So is this combination that is given by your doctor?
No, no, no.
This is something you are doing on your own.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, are you including some healthy fat in your diet?
Ghee I am using.
How much?
Maybe 1 or 2 spoons in a day.
Okay. So what I want to tell you is, you may eat 1 or 2 spoons, but you probably need some nuts. The minerals are lacking, and probably the high good quality fat is also missing. You may be eating so many things, but how to carry that nourishment into your cell depends on also good quality protein as well as fat. You need to add them because protein is the one that needs to build the joints and get it back.
Okay.
So don't miss out on your dals and sprouts and other things. That is also essential.
So how do I consult? I mean, for the consultation, how can I reach you, Surya ji?
I have shared that message with Gauri ji. She'll probably put it
Okay.
up in the group wherever you are. And
Yeah.
I am based in Bangalore though.
Okay, I'm also in Bangalore only, so that I
Okay.
can.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you can be
Yeah.
in touch with her for sure.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you in the Bangalore
Arthritis,
group?
remember, is a lifestyle disorder. So it is, unless it has gone way too far, where almost all the liquid from the joints have gone, there's too much of inflammation, but remember, it can still be helped and made very much painless, but lifestyle needs to be changed, addressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask
This is
one question?
great. Wonderful. Should we, I think we should wind up now. It's almost, 10:30. We've had such a wonderful session with so much. We, of course, asked a lot of questions to Dr. Surya because I wanted her to touch on a few topics, which I know at the top of everybody's mind. So these are common topics I tried picking up on behalf of everybody. I know there are many more questions. You all are free to ask those questions. Dr. Surya is normally very, very, what should I say, generous in trying to respond to them on our LWM groups also. Of course, we will not take too much of our time. Feel free to, we have a webinar group now. If you have any specific questions, feel free to put them there. I will try to send them to Dr. Surya and maybe take some time from her, maybe an hour or so in the next couple of days for her to answer those queries. That's something which we can definitely try to do. Otherwise, she's always available for consultation or educating us. Been a wonderful session, Dr. Surya, as always. One would expect. Thank you so much. And I know we've just touched the tip of the what do you call it? Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to learn from you. I'm going to now thank her on behalf of everyone. It's what's now 10:30. Yes, yeah, I think the thanks have started coming in already. I think Ram Gopal, Aarti, I was just waiting for the others to from the chat box. Y'all, if you all want to thank her, please unmute yourself. Feel free to thank her right now. I know that you're all putting it on the chat box.
Thank you so much, Gauri and Dr. Surya. It is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Most welcome.
you,
And she's given us a lot of takeaways, I think, and her emphasis on holistic health rather than just taking one peaceful therapy, a piecemeal therapy, etc. I think that's very important for me as a takeaway, and the fact and preventive rather than curative. So food is the medicine. I think that's what she's emphasized on.
Yeah. Medicines came from food only.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's keep our webinars going. I think there's so much to learn from experts like Dr. Surya. I'm trying to put a program together, this one specifically for women during the International Women's Week. So let me see if I can put it together for all of you. I know there were some very specific women questions related to menopause, etc. So we'll try to see if we can answer them during that week. So give me some time to try to put this together for all of you who are very special to all of to our platform Living Without Medicine. Encourage people to join this platform. Encourage them to ask questions. Encourage them to start becoming mindful of their health. And that means me to Surya. I have a lot to work on. Okay, good night.
All
Thank
right.
you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
bye.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.